Jananim Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnan Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. We have discussed many points sufficiently deeply regarding prayer. We will get many more occasions in the future to discuss about the prayer. We will go ahead with the text. I will read 2 lines before. The neighbor is asking the question, Sir, is it ever possible to realize God while leading a householder's life? Master, certainly, but as I said just now, one must live in the holy company and pray unceasingly. This point we have discussed. One should weep for God. When the impurities of mind are thus washed away, one realizes God. One should weep for God. Weeping is a special sign of unbearable state which we experience when we lose someone, when we don't get what we are expecting, when we are insulted, when we undergo great losses, things like we start weeping. There is great expectations that we have, and when they are not fulfilled, we start suffering deeply. Here, this is a different type of weeping. Weeping for God. Weeping for God is an expansion of consciousness. Weeping for anything of this world is a suppressing factor. My consciousness gets shrunken. When anything within the world is limited, is alpa, short-lived, the more I cling to, suppose I have lost my child or lost my property and I am weeping for it, I am confining myself to a small whole universe. Is there such a vast thing? And I am clinging to a small thing, and how small I become. It may be everything for me. My child is everything for me. But it is a wrong understanding. When we come to the realities of life, we have to accept the realities of life. Nothing belongs to me. Nature takes us every day to a state of sleep where I am entirely separated from this world, from my bodily existence. I am totally separated. Nature is showing every day. Even existence of this world doesn't become a part of my awareness. My body exists, things exist, nothing is there. Any amount of pain in the body, anybody insulting, anybody taking away my property, nothing affects me when I am asleep because I am not aware of anything. Nature is taking you every day to make you understand nothing belongs to you. Every day's experience. And when a thing which doesn't belong to me goes away, whether it is body or thing, everything belongs to nature, everything belongs to God. What is here of mine? All saints have told this. I don't have anything here. only thing is my God. So, when I see reality and eternity, and what is Shashvata, Nitya Shashvata, then God alone I can aspire for. It is such a vast thing in which universe is a small speck in that ocean of existence of God, the impersonal absolute, the ocean of bliss, peace, love, absolute. In that, the whole universe is just a mustard seed. In the huge, boundless ocean, the whole universe. And where are you in that? But as Chaitanya, you are that. As a bodily existence, you have no place at all. Even in solar system, if you consider, you have no place anywhere. It will not be recognized anywhere. Such a small creature I am. And my losses and gain to weep for, how mean it is and how small I am becoming. As it is, my bodily, holding on to body itself making me so small, insignificant creature in this world, and I am holding to another property or a child which is not mine, which belongs to nature. I have right to give birth, I have no right to say it's mine. It grows by itself. It goes away one day. Everything that has come together has to part. What is composed has to decompose. What is formed has to decompose. It is going away. Everything has to. What is united has to part. So, nothing. And to weep for these things is, and for weeping for God. When Sri Ramakrishna says, you have to weep for God, means you are rejecting your alpatva. You are becoming purnatva. You are moving towards the purnatva. That means it is an expansion of consciousness and opening up your heart to divine, to come and lift me, take me. My bodily existence, I am totally overlooking. In weeping, I am not a body. Just like in Krishna, when in Bhagavad Gita, he is not Devaki Putra. He is Lord of the universe and beyond. Everywhere, whenever Krishna uses I, it is entirely the Ishvara of the Lord of the universe. In many places, he is the Prakriti. In many places, he is the absolute existence, Parabrahman. So when we see similarly, when I use I for this, I am nobody. When I use I for the God, I expand. I expand limitlessly. I am separating from all that which is limiting me. Limiting. When the child weeps for a chocolate, he is overlooking all things. His mother is nothing, father is nothing, body is nothing, his dresses at school, nothing. Whole thing is the chocolate. Like that, when I weep for God, it doesn't limit me, it becomes unlimited, and whatever limitations are there, whatever is binding me, whatever is holding me back, is I am dropping away. Like loose garments on the body, it falls when I weep for God. We have not experienced that state of weeping for God. That weeping is entirely different. How many saints, how many people, almost all passed through that stage of dark nights of soul, where nothing is, there is no door open, there is nothing to, everywhere darkness. And I don't want anything here. What I want is not available to me. Not even a stretch, not even a glimpse. So the soul weeps. Weeping comes from various levels. It may be weeping of the mind, it may be weeping of the body. Now, I meet with an accident or I am injured, I start weeping. I am not able to bear the pain. It is not me weeping, it is my body weeping. It is somebody insults me. It is not me weeping. It is my ego. It is hurt. It is weeping. When I lose some great losses in business here, there, then I am weeping. Day and night, helplessly I weep. All things of mine is gone. I have to sell my property and make up the losses. I don't have any support, nobody. And then I start weeping alone. What a misfortune. Then I am not weeping my mamatva on something is making me weep. The mamatva is weeping. So when I weep for God, my innermost heart is weeping. Heart is manifestation of the Atman. It is Atman's weep. Whenever you are weeping for God, not to God. I may weep for something to God. I want chocolate. So I may weep to God for something, but weeping for God that I want God is weeping of the heart. What heart? Spiritual heart. It is all my layers, bodily layer, senses, mind, intellect, all they are transcended. My innermost weeps for the universe is left out, the beyond. The subjective ultimate is weeping for the objective ultimate. This is weeping for God. The whole in between, the whole world and my bodily existence have been shut down. And then what could be that state? Imagine your soul weeping. And nobody can console it. Suppose I am weeping for money, some rich man can just put some money in my pocket and go away. Oh, don't worry, take this. If I am weeping for hunger, somebody can give me a morsel of food and go away. For anything I weep, somebody can do something for me. But when my soul weeps for God, nothing can console it. God alone. Nobody else can console it. It has to be consoled only by God. Because it is weeping of the soul and stretching itself to the beyond. That can be consoled only by God. God has to present Himself if my soul weeps. That's why He says, weep for God. All dross that is on the various days, everything was expecting, body was expecting, mind was expecting, everything was expecting something of this world, holding on to this world. That gets washed away. All layers become transparent. You see how he says, one should weep for God. When the impurities of the mind are thus washed away, one realizes God. When the impurities of mind are washed away, one realizes God. What are these impurities? The mind, he explains it. When the impurities of the mind are washed away, one realizes God. The mind is like needle covered with mud. And God is like a magnet. The needle cannot be united with the magnet unless it is free from mud. Tears wash away the mud, which is nothing but, here he says, what is this mud? It is nothing but lust, greed, anger, and other evil tendencies, and the inclination to the worldly enjoyments as well. Where are these enshrined? All these are different layers of my existence. See, anger, greed, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya, all these things, they do the ashraya in different places. From body to the soul, they lie somewhere. Some lie in the ego, some lie in the mind, some lie in the intellect. All these various layers of my existence. Now, these color my mind. I see an object, I am tempted because I have that desire for that object. Enjoyment. He gives worldly enjoyments as well. Kama, krodha, lobha, moha, all other worldly enjoyments. I want a car, I want to go buy this one, this, that. All these are enjoyments. It is not necessary. Whatever within my limits, whatever God and nature provides, it is more than sufficient. So when greed comes, when we go beyond the limits of need, it becomes greed. And all these are up to the heart, all lie at different layers, including covering the heart. My child, my property. How deep it is, How man weeps when he loses that. Unimaginable. Nights after nights alone he sits and weeps. When he loses a job. So, this weeping for God, all this weeping for the world increases the mud covering. When we weep for greed, out of greed, my greed is increasing. I find various ways to fulfill that desire. I am increasing my greed. Ishtu dore tare, inishtara se. Ashtu dore tare, matishtara se. There is no limit. It goes on extending. But it becomes what happens is, where to stop we will not know. Everything becomes a necessity. Nothing is necessary actually. Nature is providing everything for all jivas. Will she not provide for the humans? She does. But where to limit? Where to make the division between the need and greed, comfort and unavoidability. Now, cleaning. A cloth and a bucket is sufficient and little water. How we go? Now cleaning machines have come. And the mob, if we feel it, it's absolutely necessary. Without it we cannot do. What a day has come. Whole life we have spent wiping with a hand, moving on the floor. Old age is all right where I cannot. But youngsters, then we think, why should there be not suffering? I have all strength and means to wash my clothes. I use washing machine. Within the time you take this to the washing machine, start it and all, put it and take it out, you will be finishing washing and putting for drying also. Many times it will get dried also. But they say, no, I cannot wash it, or I cannot do it. Where is the limit? How far is my forehead? When the hairs are removed, you will not know the limit of the forehead, how far it is. When head is shaven, when head becomes bald, then how far is my forehead? Forehead comes up to here for body. So, limit, where is the limit? So we must see, is it necessary? Can I live without it? Is the test. Can I live without? Can I live without a washing machine? Can I live without? Then you will see, nothing is necessary. Bare minimum requirements are sufficient. Like that, when these are covering my various layers of existence, and that is the mud. I need enjoyment. How much? All the time, 24 hours, enjoy. TV you may have to see. Whole day if you sit before TV, then there is a different treatment we have to give. A few minutes a day, a particular hours, half an hour in the evening or sometime I'll take it. Over, finish. Human life. All the time sitting with mobile. What a curse it is on human life. So here you see, you will understand what is the dirt. Dirt is clinging to the world at various levels, in various ways, for enjoyments, for comforts, for out of tomorrow, need for tomorrow, satisfying, for making for grandchildren. So all this becomes holding on. And when you weep for God, your soul is aspiring for the transcendental. Then you see, you are like a weeping child, neglects everything, overlooks everything, and one thing in its mind. Even mother tries to console. No, it cannot live without mother. That mother, it understands it cannot live without mother. But that mother also it doesn't obey or accept when it weeps. Such a weeping for God, the soul weeping washes. What happens? Purifies. Tears wash away all this mud, dirt that is accumulated within. By practice, by repeated action, we have accumulated this dirt. It has to be washed away. So, in washing all this, the tears slowly wash down, and what happens? They become transparent. Once they are transparent, the light of the Atman flows out. Now it is dark. Light is there inside. The bulb is covered with dust, dirt. So the light is not coming out. The Ananda of the Atman, the purity of the Atman, the peace of the Atman, we are not able to experience. We are not able to experience God because of this. When all these layers become transparent, you will see pure universal love that loves God is flowing out towards every being. So this is Sri Ramakrishna Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, all these are washed away by weeping for God. Because you are transcending all these. It is a huge rain, torrents of rain falling, not drizzling. It is when the soul weeps for God. Mind is like a needle covered with mud, and God is like magnet. Needle cannot be united with mud unless the mud goes away. All these purifications, just loving God, just praying to Him, just holding on to Him, feeling His living presence, repeating His name, calling upon Him in and through all activities of life. All you are attending to, all things, your time to time disciplines, this, that, everything is going on. But the heart is given to God, mind is holding on to God, is kept at the feet of God. Mind is kept at the feet, God is placed in the heart. And the inclinations to the world as well. As soon as the mud is washed away, the magnet attracts the needle. That is to say, man realizes God. Man realizes God. What a word you see. Realization of God. Means entire nature. Nothing can bind him, nothing can hold him. He is one with realizing God, he is transcending nature in every aspect. Means he has entered into eternity, eternal life and eternal freedom. He can do and undo anything. If he wants to take birth, he can take birth. If he wants to give up the body, he can give up. Everything is a play. Everything is a divine play. What a state it could be of realization of God. With realization of God, you will be transcending the Jagra, Swapna, Sushupti, the three bodies, Sthula, Sukshma, Karana, and you are becoming the Shuddha Chaitanya. You are becoming Shuddha Chaitanya. So, this is what we experience, see. You must start practicing now. It is time. Because we will not get time anymore in our life. When things go, because uncertainty, the whole life is a process of, it is passing through uncertainty and impermanency. And when tomorrow what is state I am going to be there, I may be brought to such a state, I am not able to move also. Body is so uncertain, anything can happen. So, and how days pass away, you will not know. By the time you look here, there, the life is gone. So, you have to be up and doing. Every moment, you must feel the presence of God. Love God in your own way, whatever way you can, and put all efforts to reach Him. So, this is the way in which we move towards God, holding on like a worm moving. Worm moves, it grips and moves, grips and moves, grips and moves. How beautifully it moves, you see. So, little by little we stretch towards God. First, by trying to remember Him and trying to understand through the holy company. Then through small prayers. Help me. Yesterday we saw that prayers. Gayatri, Dhiyo Yana Prachodayata, Mamritata, Mrityor Mukshiya Mamritata, Asato Ma Sadgamaya. Then in my life, in the early stages, while going to college days, at all times, while cycling through 30-40 kilometers every day, I used to chant from the Tulsidas, Nanyaspraha, continuously, thousands and thousands of times I have chanted that. Nanya Spruha Raghupate Hridaye Smadiye Satyam Vadami Ja Bhavan Akhilantaratma Bhaktim Prayacha Raghupungava Nirbharame Kamadidosha Rahitam Kurumana Samja. You are the Antaryami, you know. Nanya Spruha Raghupate Hridaye Smadiye. In my heart of hearts, I have not sought anything. Nanya Spruha Raghupate Hridaye Smadiye Satyam Vadami Cha Bhavan Akhilantaratma. You are the all-pervading, you know, inside. I am telling the truth. I don't seek anything in my life. I never sought anything. Satyam Vadami Bhagavan Akhilantaratma Bhaktim Prayacha Raghupungava Nirbharame. Give me that bhakti, nirbhara bhakti. Kamadi dosha retam kurumanan sajja. Make my mind free from kamadi dosha. Kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada. All this you wash away, wash away. This is one of the wonderful prayers. You can go on chanting endlessly for receiving the grace from God. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.